Welcome back YouTubers to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new, I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness and sharing my life stories with autism and mental health, as well as advocating and educating you all on this, as well as taking you all on a journey with this and so much more. So if you're into any of these, feel free to follow me on my social medias, as well as following me by subscribing on the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. So I had a request by somebody by the name of, obviously, Lulu from Lulu Be Before, who wanted me to talk more about people that are highly sensitive. So I want to give a heads up that I'm going to do some research as well, but this one's going to be one of the many research findings I have found. And in saying this also, basically, I have done some of these video series, I think, in one of my playlists, which I'll link in the eye bar above me right now, so you can revert back to this after the video, as well as it will be in the description versus the comment section, so it's easy access for you guys, so that you can look into it yourself if you really want to find out more. So, as we know, basically, there is two different terminologies that has been used in the world of psychiatry, and that's highly sensitive person versus empaths. So therefore, I'm going to talk in the next video, hopefully if I can find it, is the differences between an empath and a highly sensitive person. But as we know, for now, this is just going to be the 21 signs that you are a highly sensitive person, or what to look out for if you are a highly sensitive person. Just as a disclaimer, as always, too, just as a heads up, I'm no medical doctor. I'm just your normal Joe blog. So if you see anything out of the ordinary, do seek professional help for yourself or your loved one, or seek an opinion for yourself or your loved one, because I don't forever condone self-harm. So as I said before, a highly sensitive person and an empath experiences different things, but an empath will take on a more deeper route of the highly sensitive person, hearsay, in different ways. But in the meantime, a highly sensitive person will experience different levels or the world differently in different stages and stuff, due to this biological difference, however, that they're born with. Highly sensitive people are more aware of the subtleties and processes information more deeply, so therefore, basically, while they're processing that information more deeply, they might have all those nagging thoughts coming across their way, whatever it may be, you know. Some of it could be self-doubt, some of it could be just little white lies that's force-feeding into their mindset and whatnot. And then, obviously, in saying this though, when it comes down to processing certain information more deeply, that they'll be the more creative ones and insightful and empathetic people that you'll know of. But then will also mean, on the other hand, however, that they're more prone to stress and being overwhelmed more than others that are just, you know, normal everyday people that just, you know, go away and just do their own thing. Although being highly sensitive is completely normal though, however, what I mean here, it's not a disease or a disorder, far from it. It usually is often misunderstood. So here today, and hopefully for the next few days, I might bring more awareness on this topic. Obviously, there's only about 15 to 20% of the population that are highly sensitive people. So my question is, are you a highly sensitive person? And if so, basically, can you relate to any of these signs I'm about to read out to you? And then, therefore, this might indicate that this is a good chance that you may be a highly sensitive person. So, number one, you absolutely abhor violence and cruelty of any kind. It can be violence towards people, violence towards animals, cruelty to animals, cruelty to people, vice versa. You might be a highly sensitive person due to you can't watch anything scary, gory or violent movies without getting upset or even feeling physically ill. Similarly, you may not be able to stomach a news story about animalistic cruelty or similar brutal acts. Absolutely abhor violence and cruelty of any kind, as that classic example. As we know, everyone will hate violence and cruelty, but for highly sensitive people, however, on the other hand, I may add, seeing or hearing about it may become extremely unsettling for them. As we know, although highly sensitive people obviously aren't necessarily empaths, just to bear in mind, highly sensitive people tend to absorb other people's emotions, almost like in the empath world. However, It's not unusual for a highly sensitive person to walk into a room and immediately sense the moods of the people in it. That's because highly sensitive people are very aware of the subtleties that is around them, including facial expressions, body language, and the tone of voice that is being used and projected towards others, even though with this in mind that others may miss these subtleties. Pair this with sensitive people naturally high levels of empathy, and it's no wonder highly sensitive people may feel more emotion that are not their own. As a result, highly sensitive people tend to suffer from frequent emotional expression really rattles you. If you were in school, like, did you ever had a situation where you had to be timed with certain quizzes or certain things, like in your exam room, doing some speed tests, or just something in general that was based on time that made you really anxious? To the point, obviously, you weren't being able to perform as well as you normally would in a classroom setting, or even this could also as an adult when you're working on things at work and you look at your to-do list and you're thinking, oh holy moly, I've got so much stuff to go through, and you feel that you don't have enough time to finish them through that very day. Then you obviously stressed out. Obviously, highly sensitive people in this case, in this situation, are really sensitive to stimulation, and time pressure is no exception in this case. Whether you're an introvert or extrovert, either, as we know, we need plenty of downtime, preferably maybe us being alone. You may often find yourself withdrawing to a quiet, darkened room at the end of a long day in order to lower your stimulation level, to soothe your senses, and to recharge. When someone sneaks up on you or just behind you, you jump like a frightened cat. Many highly sensitive people may have a high startle reflex mode because even in a non-threatening situation, their nervous systems are dialed up to 100. The cornerstone of being a highly sensitive person is to process information deeply. This means you do plenty of reflecting in your experiences more than other people would. Unfortunately, this also means you're more prone to negative overthinking. Sad but true. Sometimes you obviously play events over and over in your mind or spiral into anxious thoughts. And obviously in this, basically one of you thinking deeply and whatnot, I think I've done something about negativity sort of thing, or even the opposite, how to be a positive person for 2019, which I'll link in the I bar above me right now, and you can revert back to this one after this video. Most highly sensitive people, as we know, may want to seek answers to the big questions in life of what they're living for. They ask why things are the way they are, what their role is in all of this as well. If you're a highly sensitive person, you may always have wondered why people aren't as captivated by the mysteries of human nature and the universe as you are. For example, a loud motorcycle suddenly roaring by your window may really shake you up. You've always been sensitive to what you wear. Scratchy fabric or restrictive clothing like pants with a tight waistband or pantyhose may really irritate you. Of course, HSPs might dislike these things too, however, just to bear in mind. But on the other hand, just to bear in mind, highly sensitive people will carefully select their wardrobe to completely avoid that mistake. And if an highly sensitive person inevitably wears one of these things out, the discomfort may detract them from their personal. Many HSPs, highly sensitive people, are more sensitive to pain of all kinds, headaches, body aches, injuries, etc., than those that are highly. Again, due to your deep processing patterns, you have a rich inner world of yourself. As a child, you may have had several imaginary friends in your time, enjoyed fantasy-based play, and were prone to daydreaming. As an adult, however, you may have vividly realistic dreams. Highly sensitive people take comfort in their routines because they are familiar with the familiarities around them, and it is far less stimulating than something brand new. For this reason, change, positive and negative, can really throw off the highly sensitive person. And obviously this comes into some retrospect with some people that are on the autism spectrum, which obviously I did a change series based on this of autism and change, which I'll link in the I bar above me also, as well as in the description, so that you can look it up later after this video if you want to, just to let you know. For example though, however, to get back on it, with this change of patterns or whatever of their schedule. Basically, for example, when dating someone new or getting a new job promotion, highly sensitive people may feel as equally stressed out as well as they are overjoyed. Generally, highly sensitive people need more time than others to adjust to the change. This is similar to what I'm saying before, to like moving into a new environment, moving to a new home, basically, or even just traveling alone, even if it's just a fun vacation away, can be quite difficult for those that are highly sensitive people, because your senses are bombarded with so much new stimuli around you. For people, high sensitivity is often mislabeled here and misunderstood. You may have been called shy or anxious, and perhaps it was implied that something was wrong with you. Similarly, when many HSPs are labelled as introverts, because introverts and HSPs share many characteristics alike, such as needing lots of downtime. However, 30% of highly sensitive people are actually extroverts. Highly sensitive people tend to be sensitive to changes in blood sugar, so that they might be quite hangry, which is hungry plus angry, if they haven't eaten in a long period of time. When your nervous system is already ratcheted up to the highest level capacity to what it can go, some highly sensitive people are sensitive to caffeine and may need very little of it to fill its buzz. Similarly, some highly sensitive people are also sensitive to the alcohol effects, so choose wisely to what you want to drink or eat that has these effects. As we know, sometimes when it comes down to any tension or disagreement in our close relationships, be it family, friend, co-worker, or what have you, that many of us will feel it more deeply than others. As well as in saying this, many highly sensitive people even report feeling physically ill during their conflict. So as a result, they'll try to have that flight, flight, fright response and just hide out and not come out. So they'll become, as a word also, they call it conflict avoidance. Saying almost anything to get the other person, but it's because words really matter to highly sensitive people, and you may think that it's all in their head or whatever, but again, as I said, this is not. I'll agree, I am a bit of a empath / highly sensitive person. I switch in between those two states. However, and obviously, as we know, positive words can make us sore, but harsh words will make us feel like as if we're being sent to the ground crashing. Criticism can feel like a daggered sword or a sword or anything of that perspective, and negativity is toxic to the highly sensitive person's finely tuned system. At work, in school, or wherever you may be, you try your hardest not to make any mistakes, because obviously you don't want to make any mistakes. But of course, you've got to remember, we aren't always all perfect. Nobody is, far from it. But you're always giving everything a go at your best effort and best shot at all. Fine meals, rich scents, beautiful artwork or stirring melodies have a deep impact on you. You may find that music or some sort of sounds put you in a near trance-like state, however, and another way to look at it is, for example, if you were outside, the wind is catching the leaves in the autumn, sunlight may leave you awestruck. You don't understand how other people aren't as moved as beauty as you are, however. Number 21. Because you will notice many things that many others will miss, be it whatever it may be, you're seen as a perspective and as insightful. Even as a child, you may have been wise beyond your years. The world relies on highly sensitive people like us to make it more of a compassionate and understanding place to be, as an end result to suggest to you guys. Well, this quickly ends basically the first part of the highly sensitive people series. Especially like if you've enjoyed it. Comment below if you're a highly sensitive person and if you actually can correlate to some of these signs that I've mentioned, or even just feel free to open the floorboard of discussion of, anything that you feel that makes you labelled as a highly sensitive person. Feel free to comment below to open the floorboard of discussion, because as I said, I'm hoping for many discussions here and now. And then all further ado, guys, basically, before I end this also, I have managed to tidy up my Patreon account. If you haven't been following me through YouTube or through my Twitter account and so other social medias, and I've been trying to clearly post my updates of where I'm at of certain things. Feel free to actually visit that channel, and also I'll link the link on the screen where you can find me of the Patreon if you want to donate to my future projects and causes that I support and whatnot. Just feel free to just let me know. As I said before, I can't stress it enough. If you want to join me on the bandwagon with collabing with me, be it the first video of just as an icebreaker with different conditions to bring out as an awareness and understanding, let me know, because obviously, as I said before, that this is to me my dream, to bring awareness and advocate and mentor to you guys and whatnot, as well as trying to educate all. So not further ado, guys, thanks for support, thanks for watching. Do you will love what you do. Until next time, I'll see you again soon. Ciao for now.